Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, for giving me the Harachakwadash to do the lesson on today. Lord, let it feed you, lamb and sheep of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to give my honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this 100% according to the spirits to be Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Lord, let this feed you, lamb and sheep of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, man. And once again, I want to say, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Forgive me, Harachakwadash, to do the lesson today. Lord, and feed you, lamb and sheep out there. And peace and blessing to your hopeful elect that they're pushing these words, man. And truth and sincerity. So I got a quick little video. It's not going to be too long, but I just wanted to put a different perspective on Psalms 50 and verse 15 through the Spirit, man. You know? Because it said, this is Psalm 50, verse 15 in the KJV and NLT. Well, let me see what it says in the NLT. It says, then call on me when you are in trouble, and I will rescue you, and you will give me glory. And then in KJV, and call upon me in the day of trouble, when I deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. Now, this is what I wanted to do, man, because when you go into that word glorify, right? The word is Tazarah. Yeah, Tazarah. Which, in the same sense, you know, you can see the words, it's in the same with adversity or adversary, my bad, adversary, you know, and adversity and thing, those are the similar words that use the same. They go back to the word Tazarah, right? Now it says straits, distress, trouble, right? Straits, distress, trouble. Now, of course, you know what I'm saying? When you go back to the scripture, Psalm 50 and 15, and call upon me in a day of trouble, we're coming into a time of major trouble, you know. We are really already in those times. This is being intensified as day and day go, which we're in the time of what? The time of Jacob troubles. But we just haven't hit the climax of the time of Jacob trouble. We're in the gradual buildup of the time of the climax of the time of Jacob troubles, which Jeremiah 30 and 7 tells you that, and Daniel 12 tells you that. You know, that's that major time of trouble, you know. And there's going to be specific ones, Lord will be those men, being the elect, that will call upon Yahweh Shai in the time of those troubles, and be delivered. You know what I'm saying? And like it said, and thou shalt glorify me, which that's what's going to happen. We're going to be delivered. We're going to be glorified. Now, I wanted to go back into that word, you know what I'm saying? Right here, the word distress, not distress, trouble. It says Tazarah, right? Tazarah, and it said distress. Now, when you look up the word distress, right, which I'm going to get it. I already got it pulled up right here. This is the etymology of the word distress, you know. Right? So, this is the verb. It says constrained or compelled by pain. Suffering, which verbs means like an action, you know. So, it's suffering or other circumstance, harass, right? To restrain, constrain, afflict. But the one word I specifically stood out to me was hinder, right? Hinder. So the reason I wanted to go into that word hinder, because trouble, we come into a time of great trouble. But before that, you will have your, I guess you say, many troubles. You know what I'm saying? Many, like the scriptures say, many the affliction of the righteous, but the Lord should deliver from them all. Because the righteous are going to do it. They're going to call upon the names Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai? Proverbs says that the names of the Lord are strong tower, the righteous run into a safe. So they're going to fulfill that Psalm 50 and verse 15. But, you know, you have many troubles, you know what I'm saying, before the great trouble happened. Because you got to think about it. It's like a muscle being built up. You know what I'm saying? As you build up your relation with Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying? Lord, he does with the house of David like he did with David in 2 Samuel 17. You know what I'm saying? When pretty much, you know, David got delivered from the bear. You know, he got delivered from the lion. You know, those was all to build him up. Those little troubles were to build him up for his big trouble, which was to fight Goliath. Which we're coming to our big trouble. Before we get to our big trouble, we have little troubles. And when I say little troubles or minute troubles, you know, it could be something small as, because a lot of times the troubles, Satan's slick, man. Sometimes the troubles or the distress of mind, you know, some things that can hinder, you know what I'm saying, because you're being distressed by it, it can hinder you is what? You know what I'm saying? It could be certain lusts of the flesh that are not expedient. They could be lawful, but they're not expedient. You know what I'm saying? For example, you probably, you want a family here. You know, that's not wicked to want a family. You know what I'm saying? But is it expedient to try to have a family here? And that could be a form of trouble upon you, man. And you got to call on the Lord to give you the strength and spirit to fight that spirit and to not be even the family man spirit for brothers who already have families. You know what I'm saying? Scripture say those that have wives, be they have none. Why? Because look at the times we in. So that could be in a sense of a trouble unto you. You know what I'm saying? Because it could fuck with your mind. It could be distress of your mind. You know? And you got to pray and ask the Lord to deliver you from that and to strengthen you to do what he needs you to do. What does 2 Timothy say? Which we'll get it real quick. And it's like for the background is, the brother was studying. And, I like to listen to R&B when I study. But this 2 Timothy chapter 3. I don't think it's 2 Timothy 3. Yeah, it's not 2 Timothy 3. Yeah, it's 2 Timothy 2. Okay, it's this 2 Timothy 2. I'm going to read it in NLT 2 and 3. It says, endure suffering along with me as a good soldier of Hamashiach Yahushai. Because we're a soldier, we got to endure the suffering. Because this suffering is going to bring forth bring forth perfection. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be complete through the suffering, just like Yahushua was. But verse 4, which is the point: soldiers don't get tied up in the affairs of civilian life, for then they cannot please the officer who enlisted them, man. So those things could cause you. In other words, don't be too entangled. Scripture say not to be overcharged with surfing. You know what I'm saying? Or, my bad, not to be overcharged, you know what I'm saying? Overindulged in the world. Like I said, we use the world and not abusing it. But this is another one. Another outlook, to look at it. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, that trouble could be something that you want. You got to think about that. It could be something that you want, man. Something because it's easy to call upon Yahweh Shai when something hurts you, like when it's hurting. You know what I'm saying? It could be trouble. It could be like you have a thorn in your flesh, or the outcome of it could hurt. But you could also think of it in the sense that it could be something that you really want to do, right? Something that you really want to do, and it could be lawful, but it's not expedient. For example, let's say, right, you haven't given the time to the Lord that day, and you really want to play the game. Probably you had a long day at work. You probably want to play the game. Shoot, you probably want to drink. You know what I'm saying? You probably want to, which ain't nothing wrong with drinking, but you do got every brother's different. Some brothers can't drink, you know what I'm saying, after they get finished drinking. They can study because they might drink too much, or some brothers can drink and study, or what so on. So every brother's different. Your body. I'm just giving examples, things that just come to mind, because these could be things that people, you know what I'm saying, struggle with. You want to drink, you had a long day at work, you want to drink, Scripture said get strong, drink till him was ready to perish. You had a long day at work, but you ain't do the will of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? Or playing the game, watching a movie, being late up with your woman, watching the movie, those things that's not wicked. It's not wicked to watch a movie, lit with your woman, watch a movie. It's not wicked to drink, you know what I'm saying? It's not wicked to, go get some box, It's not wicked to do those things, man. Those things you'll like to do. But what could happen? It could be a trouble unto you. It could be a trouble. And what's the words for the trouble? It went into distress. When you go into the verb, the action aspect of distress, it said it could hinder. Those things can hinder what you need to do to please him that chose you to be a soldier. You got to think about that. And what do you do in those situations? Well, Psalm 50 verse 15 tells you. You want to read it again? Psalm 50 and verse 15. It says, and call upon me in the day of trouble or distress. Something that could distress. When you go into the aspect of and even when you go into the you know what I'm saying? Actually, matter of fact, let me go back to it. Even when you go into the noun version, the noun, distress, circumstances that cause anxiety or hardship, right? Restraint, affliction, narrowness, distress. Oh, it says the same word, hinder, though. Hinder. Because distress, when you think about distress, it thinks about anxiety, hardship, you know what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. But you know how would that create a hardship, anxiety, or affliction of the ill? It brings affliction upon the mind because after you do those things, you feel like shit, man. You know what I'm saying? You be like, fuck, man. Excuse my friend. You like, damn, bro, I was supposed to study. I didn't study. I didn't give the time to the Lord, which as scripture say, a just man falls 7 times and get back up. Because that's the key too, because you're going to fall. You know what I'm saying? You're going to fuck up, but you got to get back up. But the thing is, it's not about, falling and getting back up, which is key. It's about minimizing falling to certain things, especially understanding what time we in. And this is a way, Psalm 50 and 15, call upon the Lord. And it's hard to call upon the Lord when you kind of like when something's not it's not hurting. You don't view it as it hurting you, if you know what I mean. Lord wants us to understand you don't view it as hurting you. For example, you don't view you going to pop that woman hurting you. You finna get some pleasurable sex. You know what I'm saying? You're finna lay down with that woman. Get the woman touch, lay down with a woman. Or drinking. You being afflicted of mind, you know what I'm saying? Strong drink to really impair. But you understand if you drink, you haven't done what you need. You're not going to really be able to focus and study properly. You might have drank too much. You might fall asleep. Those things are pleasurable things to you. You know what I'm saying? But they could be in certain situations, they could be a trouble unto you. Why? Because what? It could hinder you doing what the one, Yahweh Shai, has called you in this thing to do, man. You know what I'm saying? It call you to fulfill your lot, multiply your talents. It could hinder that. It could be a form of you not kissing the son, at least you be angry. It could be seen as that in certain situations. So to fight that, call upon the Lord. Call upon the Lord to give you strength. Like, give me the strength, because once you do it, you can study. You know what I'm saying? Or make a video. You ain't made your video for that day. Anything pertaining to a serving the Lord in this body. You know what I'm saying? If it can hinder that, it could be considered a problem. You know what I'm saying? It could be a trouble unto you. You know what I'm saying? And you could ask the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Call up the Lord. Yahweh, give me the strength. You know what I'm saying? The spirit to fight this and do what you need me to do. Because you could do that stuff after, man. You could drink after you do the Lord's will. I remember my dad, he'll always say this when I was in the world, and he still says it out here now, but he'd be like, work before play. And when you work before play, that's in other words, he's saying make sure you prioritize what's important, then do what you want to do or do what you view as not as important, which is laying with that woman, drinking that drink in certain situations. Now, I ain't saying you can't do that. You got to take it with a grain of salt. In certain situations, it could be considered a trouble to you, man. And you have to call upon the Lord to give you the strength, man. You have to call upon him. Because it's hard. It's easy to call upon the Lord when something hurting you, you know what I'm saying? Being afflicted in the flesh, Babu Shai, Yahweh Shai, you know what I'm saying? Boss a job, being a demon, deliver me. It's easy to do it right there. But what about when it's something that's viewed in the aspect of it's not hurting you physically, but you understand that the end result of that, you know what I'm saying? Small, as it says, because our brother posted, discipline is pretty much you telling your body to be consistent and not take heed unto a small pleasure at that moment. Why? Because that small pleasure can hinder you. You know what I'm saying? Because what do people talk about when they bring up discipline a lot? Discipline is doing it when you don't want to do it. Now, it's not necessarily, I don't want to do the will of the Lord, but it's necessarily, you know what I'm saying? You could be put in certain situations in the flesh that you're not prioritizing the will of the Lord or what he wants sometimes, which could happen in the flesh. That's why you repent, but you want to minimize you doing those mistakes of not prioritizing the Lord's will, which really backtracks to the fear, man. It always goes back to the fear, man, because that fear is gonna. I want to do this, but I don't want to make the Lord angry. So ask the Lord to give you straight to do what He need to do, and you could do it afterwards, man. You'll feel way better too, because I could speak from a testament, man. You know what I'm saying? There's been times I was like, man, I did it with the Lord instead, and I probably played the game afterwards. When I felt way better. Spirit was way more relieved. That trouble was gone. And it all started with me asking the Lord to give me the strength to do so. Like it's reading right here, I'm reading again, Psalm 50 and 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. And I'm bringing it out because the Lord put us in those situations to see what we're going to do. And those situations build up that muscle like he built up David's muscle and trust in the Lord. So Lord willing, this is edifying through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashma Shai, and feeds you lamb and sheep of Yahweh Bashma Shai. I'm going to end up saying, call Allah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachakodash. When I get up honor to the apostle, Ezra Great Millstone, to y'all, I'm going to say shalom, man.